After a long hiatus, the man was finally back in his natural habitat, the studio. He had been neglecting it throughout the summer, and a cleaning day was an inevitable start on his week. The man had been working on things around the house, chopping down trees, trimming down some grass, and last but not least, painting his house. After months of painting, it was almost like he had forgotten his craft of making videos. Well, I guess he thought he was better at painting. If you ask me, it looked like he didn't have a clue on how to paint. It seemed just like the man heard something. Oh, gotta be quiet. While cleaning wasn't really his strong side, he was close to obsessed by optimizing his studio. His 3D printer had been working almost non-stop since his return. He printed everything he could come up with, mostly wall-mounted stuff, such as holsters for his water guns, but also his Nerf guns. He just didn't want to have things on the floor. That's pretty cool if you ask me. As he got back to his desk, it was almost like he heard someone again. What he totally had forgotten was the fact that Artlist had released an AI voiceover tool. So the voice he heard wasn't real, but sounded incredibly good. The man was intrigued, so I recommended him to try out the AI voiceover tool himself. He went back to his desk, opened up Artlist,
and tried multiple different voices among the vast library.
The new voices all sounded incredibly good.
And by signing up to Artlist, with the link in the description,
you will get 2 months for free. Welcome to the future.
I gotta say, I feel a little bit, rusty vlogging because I haven't been doing this that much at all during the entire summer. I've been doing the occasional videos here and there, but mostly I've just been busy with fixing things here in the studio and around the house, as I said in the beginning of the video, whereas the AI tool said in the beginning of the video. It feels good to be back. It feels good that August is coming to an end, summer is coming to an end in one way, because I really feel motivated to get back into making videos and creating fun stuff for you and I to enjoy together. And take a look at this, huh? En saccosäck, as we say here in Sweden. It is one of those things that I invested in, mainly because when I had my neighbors on visit, they were sitting down in that couch over there, and I was sitting in this chair. So when I was sitting here and they were sitting there, it was kind of this odd feeling of me sitting in a high chair and they were sitting here on the sofa. But now, whenever I get some guests, I can just pull this out. I can lean back, relax, and get down to the guest level in the couch. I remember having one of these as a kid, but they were sort of like this fake leather thing. And whenever it broke, there was like these plastic balls everywhere. I also designed and printed this knife rack, got the Prime Gear logo there. It's kind of a simple design, nothing special really, but it's just so freaking cool that you're actually able to 3D print almost everything that you might need in your house. I love it. And one of the reasons why I'm really hyped about this fall or this coming season is because I have a new camera. This right here is the Sony A9 Mark III. And this is a beast of a camera. Let's get the price out of the way, because this is not a beginner camera. It's not an intermediate camera. It is a pro level camera and a pro level price. But there's also a couple of good reasons for it, especially when you look at the tech that is inside this camera. One of the things that really drew me towards this camera once it was released is the fact that it has a global shutter. And for those of you that don't know what a global shutter is, the simplest way for me to explain it is that when you look at a sensor, it captures all the pixels at the same time. Meanwhile, most other sensors in mirrorless cameras today have something that's called a rolling shutter, which is basically where it scans every line of pixels and then captures the frame by scanning the entire sensor. Now, this camera is entirely different because the global shutter means that it just captures all the pixels at the same time. It might not sound like a big deal, but I believe that within 5 to 10 years, all the mirrorless cameras that we see on the market is going to have something that is similar to what this has right now. And I recently went on a very quick trip to Iceland. Can't really tell you why just yet, but you're gonna have to wait and see. But I actually brought this camera with me to test it out in the field and see how it was to actually use it and if it was a worthy successor to my Sony A1. Because for the last 2 years, I've been using Sony A1 as my main photography / backup camera, and I love that camera. Being able to have 50 plus megapixels in the camera has helped me so many times, and it almost makes the images look so sharp to a point where it actually feels like there's some sort of surreal enhancement to it, even though it's not. But going back down to 24 megapixels is something that I'm actually very excited to, mainly because storage. One of the downsides that I had with the A1 was when I got home from a trip, I needed to offload my footage, and then the images is like... It wasn't as bad as if you were to shoot with the Sony a7R5, for example, but being able to have a camera that has less pixels in the sensor, but still provides you with a good result in smaller files is something that I think might be a better fit for me. Some of the shots that I took with this camera turned out so freaking good, but if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I would probably be able to shoot the exact same shots with the Sony A1 as well. One thing though, that you do not have on the Sony A1 is this, the flip up, but also the flip out, flippity tilty thing. That is something that I've been missing so much. Mainly because I've said it before, when you go down and shoot like a portrait shot close to the ground, there's no freaking way other than just laying down on the ground with the A1. But with this, you just do that, click. But my initial thoughts on this camera after actually using it in the field for the first time is that it feels better. Like the grip is very good and it feels like it's a little bit sturdier, a little bit bigger and beefier, if you may. I also like the fact that it has kind of similar wheel as the A7 IV has, where you can switch between photo, video, and S&Q. And then over here on this side, you can choose between autofocus, manual focus, all the different focus modes. All in all, it feels kind of similar to what Sony already has to offer, but just in a better package. But what I am super excited about is to actually put this to the test towards the Sony A1. And I would love to know, what would you like to see in that video that you're curious about with these two cameras? Because the Sony A1 is a great camera still, and this is sort of like the latest and absolute greatest tech that you can get in a mirrorless camera as of right now. It feels freaking amazing to be back, and I'm super hyped to be making more videos. It feels great to be able to talk to you again and just stand here, record a video and have a good time, talk about cameras. I love talking about cameras. I don't know why I've neglected talking about cameras for so long. I want to make more videos about cameras, Drop a comment on what you would like to see in a future video where I talk about the Sony A1 and the A9 III. And I'm going to do my best to cover that. Thanks so much for watching. Really hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please do give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I think we're going to try to aim towards 700,000 this year. I wanted to aim towards 1 million, but I'm not really sure that that is going to be possible, but we're going to have to try. Anyway, I'm super glad that you watched my video. Super glad to have you here. Thank you for all the support throughout the years. Thank you for the support throughout this video. Peter från Sweden saying goodbye.